All right, friends, today we're going to work together finding the perimeter of some shapes. So here, our question number 1 asks us, what is the perimeter of this triangle? Well, we know that we are working with perimeter, and when you see the word perimeter, I want you to hear Miss Mahan's voice. Perimeter. Perimeter means plus. Plus what? All the sides. So because we have a triangle, we are going to add up the measurements of each of these sides to find our perimeter. So when you are finding perimeter, think of the perimeter as your sum. So we're going to use an adding strategy here to find the sum. So you can use whatever strategy that you want, however you think, but see if you can add these numbers together to find the sum. So your scratch paper should be there if you need it. I'm going to give you a few seconds, see if you can find the perimeter. So my brain, I did 8 plus 8, and I saw that it was 16, and then 16 plus 6, that's going to give me 22. So did you guys get 22 as the perimeter? Good. C, 22 inches was our perimeter. So let's look at another one. Now here we have a rectangle, and the directions ask you to take a centimeter ruler and measure it, and I didn't have that, so I've just added some measurements here. So we are going to pretend like the width of this rectangle is 7 centimeters. That's what that CM stands for. And we're going to pretend like the length here is 2 centimeters. So boys and girls, when I'm finding the perimeter, perimeter means plus what? All the sides. So if I look at my model, it only gives me 2 measurements. So if I add 7 plus 2, well, that's going to give me 9. And notice that is an answer choice. But remember we talked about that we have to count all the sides. So if you have a 4-sided shape, like this rectangle here, you have to add up 4 numbers. We talked about how if we're making a fence and we don't do fence here and here, well, we've let our horse out. So because we've been working with rectangles before, we know that the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So if this is 7 centimeters, then we also know that this is 7 centimeters. And if the width is 2 centimeters, the opposite side is going to be equal, that this is also 2 centimeters. Now we have all 4 measurements. So take a quick second, see if you guys can figure out the perimeter of this rectangle. Okay, great. Several ways you can do it depending on how your brain saw it. You could say that 7 and 7, that's 14, plus 2, 16, plus 2 is 18. You might have also said that 7 plus 2 is 9. So if this was 9 and this was 9, then 9 plus 9 is 18. Do you guys get 18? Excellent. So definitely not 9 because you have to count all the sides. Okay, so let's look at just 2 more here. Check out this. This tells me that this is a pentagon. So a pentagon is a shape that has 5 sides, a 5-sided pentagon. And it tells me that it has the sides of equal length. So that's important because it's only giving me the measurement of one side. It tells me that one side is 7 centimeters. But because they're all equal, then that actually is giving me the measurements for all the sides. Now, if you can skip count by 7s, this will be really easy for you guys. Let's do this one together. Ready? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. The perimeter of this shape is 35 centimeters. Easy, schmeezy. All right, one more, sweet children. Persevere with me. Let's look at this one. This one's a little bit different because I noticed right away it does not provide me a model. It does not give me a picture to work from. So I'm going to read this carefully to get the information that I need. It says a playground is shaped like a rectangle. So now I know what it looks like. It has a length of 9 yards and a width of 8 yards. What is the perimeter of the playground? Perimeter means plus. So if it does not give you a model, sweet children, make your own. So I'm just going to draw a quick little rectangle here, nothing fancy here. We're going to pretend like this is 9 yards, and we're going to pretend like this is 8 yards, even though those don't quite match up. But that's okay. We're going to go with the numbers. So boys and girls, again, if we go back to our other example, we know that a perimeter means plus all the sides. We know I have a rectangle, but I only have 2. So if I add those up, that would be 8 plus 8 is 16, plus one more is 17. 17 is not even on there. So I know, boys and girls, that I have to count all the sides. So because it's a rectangle, I'm going to use my opposite sides here. Now I have the measurements of all of those sides. So I'm going to use a counting strategy. 9 plus 9 is going to give me 18. 8 plus 8 is going to give me 16. Now see if you guys can find the perimeter of this shape. So my brain saw 6, and I turned this 8 into a 6 and a 2. So 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 2 is 14. When I do 14, I have created that new 10. So the perimeter of this shape is 34. Did you guys get 34? Yay, good job, guys. You have persevered. Now it's time for your assignment. Here we go.